perfect mess is my perfect mess. Perfect mess is my perfect mess.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Perfect Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ray Molina, and welcome to episode 25. This is the first episode of the new year, 2021, and if you are listening, you made it. You made it through 2020, right? What a crazy, wild, epic ride 2020 was, right? Uh, I'm just glad we're here, man. There were times when we didn't think we were actually going to pull through, right? I know I felt like that for a lot of the times, man, especially the times when I was, not having the best of days and the days that my kids weren't with me and, things were getting a little rough with, trying to make sure that I had enough income to take care of not only myself, but my kids, being that they've shut everybody down, man. At least out here in California, they have. So with that being said, I'm going to go through a speed round of 2020 briefly, man. 2020 for me, first of all, I want to thank you guys before we get into this for supporting the Perfect Mess podcast last year. It was my first year doing it. We got 24 episodes in. It was a learning process for me. There were so many things I was trying, topics I was touching on, and it was all just something new for me. That I gave it a shot and it got some really good feedback. And I'm really happy that a lot of you guys continue to listen and share the podcast with your friends and family. And I just really appreciate all you guys who continue to support what I'm doing here with the Perfect Mess. And like always, I would love to hear from you guys. My Instagram is at It's Ray Molina, and the podcast Instagram is at The Perfect Mess Pod. Someone did hit me to an idea. I'm not really big on, asking for help or donations or anything like that, but someone told me you should always put it out there because you never know. There's a lot of people who just want to support something that has helped them and they want to give back. So, in taking that advice, you can, if you would like to donate to the Perfect Mess podcast and help me grow this thing when it comes to merchandise, when it comes to everything that we're doing here, or everything that I'm doing here, you can donate through Cash App. My Cash App is $ It's Ray Molina. So it's basically the same name as my Instagram. Just put a $ in front, and that's my Cash App. So you don't have to, like I always say, but if you feel so inclined and you like what I'm doing here and you want to help this thing grow, by all means, it's always appreciated. If you're on YouTube right now, if you see behind me and what I'm wearing, that's the new Beast or Famine flag. I've also got the gray with the black patch Beast or Famine hat. This is the snapback. Um, and these are all available on my website at raymolina.com. Anything that you usually see me wearing, whether it's Beast or Famine or it's Blessed Side or if it's the podcast, you can get all that stuff on my website. So once again, that's raymolina.com. Please check it out. Got a lot of stuff going on over there. And if you've missed a bunch of episodes, you can also go there and listen to them as well. So with that being said, let's talk about 2020 real quick. So I'm going to zoom through this. One, I became a teacher last year. If you're a parent, you probably became a teacher as well. So welcome. Last year I became a teacher, and that was quite the journey, quite the learning lesson. And you know, homeschooling your kids is another beast, man. There are good days, there are bad days, and there are days that leave you just scratching your head, going, "What am I doing here? How did this happen?" But hey, we have to do what we got to do, and unfortunately, the state of the world we're in right now, and last year, that's what needs to be done. And if you're a good parent, like I like to pride myself, you just do it. You can complain, but no one's gonna give a damn. No one's gonna care. So complaining ain't gonna get nothing done. So yeah, last year I became a teacher. I'm still teaching to this day because hey, we're in California and we're still locked down. Our schools are still shut down. I know it sucks because I have family and friends in Texas, and they're wide open. So what are you gonna do, man? California. Um, let's see. I changed my business strategies last year. I went from running 408 Inc. to changing things to Molina's Multimedia, and stopped doing a lot of things that I was doing that were just taking up time, that weren't profitable as much as I was getting minimal orders and whatnot to do these services. So I just stopped doing certain services, and I'm focusing more on the things that are basically bringing in the money to keep me afloat and take care of my family. So I've trimmed things down, and changed focus on my business, which is great. Moving on, uh, I missed my mark of 20 books for the year. I can admit that. Um, I read 14 books last year. I'm very proud of. That's the most books I've read in any year that I've been alive, which I'm proud of. But I'm not proud because I wanted to hit 20 books before the year ended, and I did not do that. So. I plan on doing that this year. Actually, I plan on crushing that this year. So we'll get to that more in a minute. I lost more weight, gained some more weight back. So yeah, towards the end of the year, I think we all go through this. You guys see me crushing it, and then when we get into the holidays, I continued my workouts, but I did ease up off the gas a bit because I really wanted to, because of COVID. I really wanted to spend more time with my kids this holiday season. More so, like, not that I don't do that regularly, but because of the situation and us not being able to travel and us not being able to spend time with all of our family, I felt like it was important that I really focused on just being with my kids, and making sure that they had the best Christmas and best Thanksgiving and whatnot. So I did ease up a little bit on the pedal for working out. I was working out twice a day, and then I took it back to every day, just doing once a day. So I did put on a little bit more weight than I planned on during the holidays, but I'm nowhere near what I used to be, and I'm happy about that. I've learned how to maintain and control my weight gain, I'm happy about that. That's something that I really wanted to take control of. I always told myself I want this to be a lifestyle change to where I can control it. It's not just something where I hit a goal and then I quit, and then I'm all of a sudden this big heavy dude again. Yeah, I'm back on my grind, and again, we'll get to that in a minute. Um, Really happy. Last year we did 17 hikes, which was awesome. Um, More hikes than I've ever done in my life for a year. I definitely want to step that up this year. We had to chill out because a lot of our hiking trails out here in California were closed because of COVID. You're kind of seeing the theme here. Um, so I wanted to do more than 17 hikes, but we did what we could. And, there were times that we went out and the trails were just closed down. They had signs, they were taped off. They had rangers out there making sure nobody went up there. They were threatening people with fines. I think one of the places we went to, they threatened us with a $1,500 fine if we actually went hiking. Yeah, crazy, right? But yeah, 17 hikes last year. I'm very proud of that. It was a very active year last year. Taught my kids how to drive. Yes, I know I got a 9 and 11-year-old, but when we went to a hike, one of the hikes that they shut down on us, you remember a podcast I shared with you guys? There was this huge, huge parking lot. There was like 10, 15 football fields, nobody there. And for some reason, man, I just got the itch, and I have a small car, and I said, you guys want to drive? And I felt like I just want to give them that memory and just have them enjoy it. And so I taught my kids how to drive. I even taught the couple of kids that I mentor how to drive. They were with us, so that was a fun thing. Let's see what else. I have improved on my minimalistic lifestyle. A lot of you guys hear me talk about that a lot. I was inspired by the book Minimalism, and the documentary that's on Netflix a couple years ago, and I've just continued to do that. I've continued to minimalize a lot of the things that I carry around in my life, whether it be an extra car that I had, whether it be too many clothes that I don't need. You name it. I just started trimming. I kept trimming things down. So, and a lot of that was because I would go through my stuff probably once a month and then just go drop off stuff to the homeless and give it to them. And that really helped. So, um, I'm not somebody who likes to hold on to a lot of stuff. So I've gotten really, really good at that. I've gotten better at that. So I'm proud of that. Um, we started slowly getting back into church at our building last year, towards the end of the year. We're not actually in the building now, but we are on the church grounds, and we do an outside thing where it's called fireside, and we're actually out there, and they have a fire pit in the middle, and it's really cool, man. We do it at night, and then we have services there for about an hour. So we're slowly making the turn to come back to church, which I'm very, very happy about. A lot of you guys, if you listen to my podcast, you know that's one of the things that I miss. I miss going to church. I miss being there and having the fellowship with all of my friends and family that are there. Um, let's see what else. So yeah, we're making the turn there. My holidays were small. Thanksgiving I spent with my kids and my pastor. We went over to my pastor's house and just had an intimate Thanksgiving dinner. Talked by the fire, said some prayers, sang some songs, and just hung out. It was actually very, very refreshing. It was a very comfortable Thanksgiving. So shout out to Pastor Randy, man. Thank you for the invite. I love you. Christmas, it was at my tiny place, and I had a pink Christmas tree. Yeah, a pink Christmas tree. You're probably like, what is he talking about? You need to go on my Instagram and read the story about the pink Christmas tree, because there is a story behind that, and I highly suggest that you go find that post on my Instagram. Again, it's Ray Molina. Go find that post in December. You'll see a photo of me staring at a pink Christmas tree, and it's very symbolic. But check that post out, and you'll know about how I spent my Christmas with a pink Christmas tree and my kids. Um, so hopefully that intrigues you enough to where you go do that. But my Christmas was good, man. It was small, intimate with my kids. We did Christmas movies. Uh, we had some coquito, which was made by my good friend Rochelle Segura. Shout out to her and her husband Rob. And we had some Puerto Rican rice, and we just hung out and watched movies. It was awesome. Open gifts. Uh, couldn't ask for more, man. One thing that I've been accepting of this last year was God just telling me to focus on the little things, the family, the things that matter. And my holidays, although they were this big, real small, they were very, very good. And I'm very thankful because they could be worse, you know? Um, let's wrap it up here. The world went nuts after the presidential election, right? Can we agree? The world went crazy. Um, it just went nuts. People, started accusing people of lying, of stealing the vote, of going crazy. It just went nuts. I don't think I've ever seen something like that in my life. Again, we all have our views. I don't care who you voted for. You shouldn't really care who I voted for. Uh, at the end of the day, the people that are saying, hey, that's not my president, unfortunately, whoever wins, that is our president, and it is what it is. But there are still, a bunch of people in this world that can't accept stuff like that, and they want to cause havoc and chaos and whatnot. So the year ended with just craziness, right? I think we can agree. People went crazy, but this election was unlike any other, and I've been alive for 46 years, and I've never seen nothing like it. Um, but anyways, we got through that. So we thought. Uh, 2021 kicked off with a bang, right? So that was 2020, still in COVID, uh, but 2021 kicked off with a bang because now we know who our new president's going to be and vice president. And California, we started off with more lockdowns, so they locked us down again. Shut down outdoor dining, shut down the barber shops, shut down the gyms again. You can't even go into the gym with the mask anymore. They shut down everything. So we started off 2021 with a bang, shut everything down, and then they stormed the Capitol. Stormed the Capitol. I never thought I'd say that. This is the United States. We had some maniacs storm the Capitol. Uh, yeah, 2021 couldn't have started off any more rocky, right? Uh, I'll tell you, people are saying this is the sequel to 2020, and I know we started off with a bang, and it's very crazy, but I'm not going to call it the sequel because I believe that this year is going to turn around. Um, and it's really based on how you approach this year. And I'm approaching it with positivity. Very proud of the things that I did last year during the craziest year of our lives. And I'm hoping to build on that this year. I'm not going to let this craziness affect me and my family, and you shouldn't either. Um, yeah, and the final thing I want to touch on with regards to all that is we are here. If you're watching this, you made it through. You're alive, and you're here for another year. A lot of people didn't make it through last year. We lost a lot of people, and I know a lot of people like to drop the famous people that we lost, the athletes that we lost, the actors, the civil rights leaders, and politicians, and all the different famous people that we lost. But I want to also acknowledge uh, the everyday people that we lost. There are a lot of people who lost their family members, their brothers, their sisters, their grandparents, their moms, dads, uncles, aunts. People lost so many people last year, and it's tough, So if you are here in 2021, count your blessings, be thankful, and try to make this year something magical. Turn it around and take advantage of the time that you have here because we are not promised tomorrow. All right. I tell my kids that all the time. No one is promising you tomorrow. And we just got to make sure that we are staying focused on today. A lot of people, a lot of us like to think about the past or think forward, think in the future. But if we focus on the day, then we're going to be fine. And that's what we need to do is focus on the day. Win the day. All right. So this podcast, you know, it's about struggle confliction, and I'm gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna talk to you about what that means to me, and what I mean by that is, hold on, give me 1 second, 1 second, boom. All right, sorry, I got my notes right here, and I almost lost them. Um, Struggle confliction or struggle conflict. First of all, if you guys are noticing on camera, uh, it may be in the audio. I don't have my mic and I do not have my headphones in. I'm literally winging this one right now because I'm in the process of a move, and we'll get to that. Anyways, signs that you're breaking through all of your struggles and the things that have been pushing you and getting you to get out of this rut that you're in your life. Um, Maybe you've gone through some of the hardest things that you've ever gone through, and now you're starting to see yourself make that turn in your life, and for some reason, even though that should be a good thing, it's scaring the hell out of you. I can tell you, I feel you. I can tell you that I am no stranger to that. I can tell you that I'm going through that right now. um, and it's okay to have that fear, because it's almost like you don't want to lose your edge. And what I mean by that is you've gone through so much that being healed from all of that pain and the struggle is great, but you almost don't want to forget about what got you there because you're going to lose your edge. You're going to lose that fight, that hunger in your heart and your soul. I know because I'm going through that right now. Um, So it's almost like you're happy you're making that turn, and you're getting to that place where you're feeling alive again, but you're also afraid that you're going to lose that because you don't want to forget everything that you struggled through. So it's like a twisted, you you're almost infatuated with the struggle and the pain, but you also want to get better, but you can't get yourself to let go fully. You know what I mean? Um, so this is what I'm going through, and this is what this podcast episode 25 is about. Um, and here's some things I want to touch on. Uh, I started doing 448 refined again. And for a lot of you who aren't familiar with that, that is a program I put together where you read for 4 weeks. You read 4 books. Um, you get so for 4 weeks you read 4 books. You exercise twice a day, or for an hour and 15 minutes, 45 minutes strength, 30 minutes cardio. You get 8 hours of sleep every night. Um, Again, you read a book a week. You do something kind. You follow a strict diet. You drink a gallon of water every day. And there's a few other things, but you can find the program on my website. If you go to raymolina.com, you'll see the tab that says 448 Refined. So I started doing my program again, and I'm on my fourth book. So this is all of this is tying into me making this turn. So let me touch on this, as we go through. My first book was the War of Art. Um, this is an awesome, awesome book. Basically, in a nutshell, uh, it tells you and it teaches you about the difference between an amateur and a professional, about getting things done, making excuses, knowing that things are always going to work against you, and you just have to sit down and get things done. Do not wait for inspiration. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. A lot of people say, well, I'm waiting to do that until I get inspired. This book teaches you about not waiting for inspiration. If you wait for inspiration, you're going to put things off. You're going to sit there, you do the work every day, a little bit of your work every day, and then you get the ball rolling. And then eventually everything snowballs into you getting things done the way you're supposed to get it done. It doesn't necessarily mean art, it just means anything in life. If you're a writer, if you own your own business and there's just certain things that you know you got to take care of, but you keep putting them off. Um, this book is very, very amazing. I love this book. I enjoyed reading it. I'm sure I'm going to read it again at some point this year. But yeah, The War of Art is by Stephen Pressfield. Check that book out. That was my first book, all right, in week one. I'm going into week 4 right now. So this is week 1. My second one, I love this book, and the reason why I love it is because it was written by a high school friend of mine, Tanya McKenzie. Right here, you see her. We went to high school together. It is called A Child's Memories of Cartoons and Murder, and this is about her life growing up. Um Very, very deep book about her struggles as a little girl, seeing and going through a lot of stuff that kids really shouldn't be going through at that age. Um, it's crazy because knowing her, going to high school with her, I was around for certain things that she talked about in this book, and a lot of things started to click um, about that time frame for me, to where I actually had a conversation with her on a direct message about that. And man, this book brought me to tears in certain situations because she went through some stuff here. So if you are interested in my friend Tanya McKenzie's book, please check it out. I recommend it. Um, just a little girl growing up in a very, very crazy household with a single mom, and going through some crazy family stuff, and just life stuff in general, and how she battled through that stuff and became the strong, powerful black woman that she is today. And I emphasize black because she is very proud of the work she did, and what she's done for black women and women in general. I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. We've always been good friends, and I highly recommend that you check this book out. Okay, again, A Child's Memories of Cartoons and Murder by Tanya McKenzie. That was my second book. My third book, look, I'm going to show you guys. I carry this bag around. If you're not on YouTube, you can't see this, but it's a tactical bag, a little bag that I carry, goes over your shoulder. See that? Got a highlighter there and a pen here, a Sharpie. But I carry this around because I carry all kinds of stuff with me. But this is how I carry my books around. Boom. All right. So I have this with me all the time, and I always have a book with me because anytime I get some downtime, I read. My third book that I am reading is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think that's how I think that's how you say his last name. Um, anyways, I have been told about this book for a very long time, and I gotta be honest with you, I completely had this book wrong. I just thought this book was about something else, and it was not. I was wrong. This book is this book is good. I know I keep saying that about every book that I'm reading, but it's really good. It's so good that I was only supposed to read 23 pages a day. I've been reading 40 pages a day because I can't put it down. This book is very, very good. I had a friend of mine, Ralph, um who messaged me because he saw me reading this on Instagram, and he said, "You're the alchemist." And I said, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Just read the book and then call me when you're done because you're going to understand what I'm saying. You are the alchemist." And so I started reading more pages because I'm like, what is he talking about? And my goodness, is he right? This book touches on my life currently right now so much uh, with the struggle of finding uh, your personal legend and how not to give up on chasing your dream. On in a nutshell, you know how people say, uh, do it because you don't want to be the old man that says, "Gosh, man, I really wish I would have tried that. I really wish I would have pursued my dream of owning a business, of trying to put out an album, of trying to travel, of trying to do this. I wish I would have done that." And looking back, saying I never did any of that. This, in a nutshell, this is about finding your personal legend and paying attention to the signs and knowing that if you want something and it is right for you, that the world, everything in the world, uh, collaborates together to bring that to you. But you have to listen to your heart. You have to put in the work and know that there are so many things that you could do in your life, but a lot of them you could always come back to. But chasing your dream and chasing things that you really need to find out if you're capable of doing, that doesn't happen every day. You do it, and if you fail, at least you tried, and you can come back and do the average everyday stuff that you thought you could do for a lifetime, which is like go get a job, uh, you know, work at a certain business or whatever it is. You can always do that. But your dreams and things that you're supposed to do that are great, you only have a window, a certain amount of time. So this book, man, I'm finishing it today. I've got like 24 pages to finish, and I'll be finishing this one today. The Alchemist. Really, really recommend this book. All right. I know I keep saying that about all these books. I'm telling you, I've lucked out, man. I have read 3 books into this month now in January, and I am thrilled. My 3 choices have been awesome. My final book that I'll be starting tomorrow, Sunday, is I'm excited about this book because it's from a hip hop head, man. Russ. Uh, it's all in your head. Get out of your way. Uh, I've known about this book, and I forgot about it, and then I listened to $1 million worth of game with Gilly and his cousin Wallow, and they had interviewed Russ, and man, it reminded me about this book, and I was so intrigued by how well Russ is spoken. Obviously he's an amazing, amazing artist. I shouldn't even call him a hip hop artist because he transcends that name, and he does so many different things, like putting out a book. Um, but I was so drawn to that interview because he speaks so well and he's so knowledgeable for being so young that I literally got on Amazon and I said, I got to get this book. And I bought it and it just came in the other day. So this is going to be my fourth book. Um, Russ, it's all in your head. All right. So I'll let you guys know after I'm done reading this. I start tomorrow and I'll let you know what I think. But this is my fourth book. So if you're listening, I'm about to be four books in, and it's only going to be the first month of the year. So I'm on my path to knocking down more than 20 books this year, which is what I want to do. All right. Um, these have really been helping me with my breakthrough, with getting through and getting past all of my struggles. Reading has helped me. Uh, a lot of people ask me for advice. Reading is one of them. So if you don't read, start reading. Um, Something else that's been going on for me that tells me I'm getting through my struggles and I'm getting better is I've been spending a lot more time um, with my kids at their home. And I say, you probably say, what do you mean their home? Uh, because I think I told you guys early on in the beginning stages of this podcast that I made a decision uh, with their mom, and not only that, a legal decision that I didn't want my kids' life to change. I wanted them to have one home so there's no confusion, so they weren't bouncing back and forth. I know because I went through all this stuff growing up, and it's not good for kids. So when you hear me reference at their home, it's their mom's house. But I've been at the house a bit more these days, being that my son Jordan is he's such a sports fanatic. He's a stat kid. He knows stats for damn near every sport: baseball, football, basketball, you name it. And he's super knowledgeable, and he always wants me to watch the games with him, which I love. Um, but he wants me to go there and spend time with him. For a long time, that was very difficult for me to go into this house that I used to live in and be around the people that live there. Um, but something has changed. I've gone there. I usually go in there in the morning and I bring donuts. And we have donuts and we watch the game. I, Recently, it's been the NFL playoffs, and then at lunchtime we get pizza, and so I've been hanging out there, and things have been going smooth. Um, and it's just a tell all that I'm starting to make that turn um, because I'm able to put certain things on the back burner and not let things bother me and just accept what it is and enjoy the moment. So that's really, it may not sound like a big deal for anybody, for any of you guys listening, but for me, it's a big deal. Because if you are familiar with this podcast and you've listened uh, to the first two, I had some really serious struggles I was going through. That uh, if you ask me back then, I would have said I'm not going to be anywhere where I am right now, and I am. So that's telling me a lot of things are changing. Oh, I gotta show you. Somebody asked me if I'm selling these hydro flasks with this Beast or Famine logo on it. This is actually just a hydro flask that I put a sticker on. So no, these are not on my website. But I do have a connection to get those done. So maybe in the future I might be offering hydro flasks with this logo on it. So we'll see. But I know someone saw me on YouTube and sent me a DM and asked me, "Hey, do you have those hydro flasks with that Beast or Famine lion on there? Because I would buy one." So we'll see. We'll see. I might be doing that. But no, this is just a sticker for those of you watching. Um, building on what I just said, and I've also just I started being okay with uh, having food and at times dinner with them. Because when I have the kids, uh, I'll bring them home and I'll get a text, hey, there's this here to eat. If you want to have dinner with the kids, I'm sure they would like to have dinner with you. And the old me would shut it down every time. No, 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 it's cool. No, it's cool. No, it's cool. Um, but I'm at a point now where even though I don't take every invite, I have gotten better at saying, yeah, sure, I'll come in and have dinner with them. And I sit down and have dinner with the kids. But yeah, it's another sign of making that turn, which is really new for me. Um, I've been slowly opening up to conversation, to jokes. You guys may be saying, "What do you mean jokes?" And joking. Uh, there was a time when I wouldn't entertain that. Keep the conversation short. Uh, don't say too much, and definitely not laugh at any jokes and not crack any jokes, because part of me was still angry about the situation and how it went down. But it's slowly starting to change. Um, I'm not afraid to laugh uh, in her presence. I'm not afraid to crack a joke, which is a big step for me because I wasn't okay with that for a long time. Um, and again, I don't know that we'll ever be best friends, um, but we're on the road to being friends, and that's all you can ask for. Um, you see where I'm going with all this? Like all these things are starting to show that I am making the turn and getting out of that rut I was in from my previous going on 4 years. Uh, let's see what else. Got my finances in order. All of these things are, again, signs that I'm making the turn. I'm starting to get past these struggles and actually getting into the green now. So they're all going to bring you around to my final thing that I'm going to talk about here. But I got my finances in order, man. I had to learn some lessons. Being a small business owner, especially during COVID, certain things I didn't pay that I should have paid. It's been a learning process for me, man. I didn't go to school on how to run a business, so I've literally had to read books and had to learn by making mistakes. And I've made my share of mistakes. But I've finally got things in order. I've learned where my mistakes were. I've taken steps to right those wrongs. And I gotta say, man, I'm pretty close to uh, wiping the slate clean when it comes to those mistakes and getting back. Uh, so that's a good thing. So my finances are in order. My credit is close to 800 now. It's pushing, which is something that I'm super proud of, man. I've worked a lot of late nights and early mornings in order to do certain things to get it there, and it's just setting up my future for not just me, for my kids, because I have a plan. I have a plan. I wanted to make sure that I got all my finances and my credit, everything squared away, so I could make this move that I have planned for the future. So that's great. Something else that you may be like, everybody has this. I didn't. I got healthcare. I got some health insurance. Yeah, man, I know. Being a single guy, I didn't have health insurance for a little over a year. So I finally got approved to get my own health care, being an entrepreneur, self-made, uh, you know, a small business owner. And I'm happy to say that I officially have health insurance now. So if something happens to me, I will be okay. I can see the doctor. Um, I'm happy about that. I preach taking care of yourself and staying healthy, and thank God I do that because I almost never need to go to the hospital. But at my age, you got to go get your checkups and whatnot. So at least now I can go get my checkups and go do those things that I need to do, and check my blood and check, make sure I'm healthy, get my numbers, and see where I need to improve and whatnot. So that's a big thing. So yes, I have health insurance now. I'm growing up, guys. I'm growing up. So, um, yeah, I'm proud, man. Again, having that as a small business owner, it's tough. It's not like you have a job and they just say, "Here's our benefits package." Being self-employed, that's a little gets a little tricky. So I got health insurance now, so I'm happy about that. I've been investing more. I don't have a whole lot of money. I'm very candid about that. I don't have a whole lot of money, but I have been investing more. Every time I have, every time I pay myself, I make sure that I take a certain percentage and I throw it into an account. So I have been investing in some stocks and more specifically, I have jumped into the Bitcoin race. So yeah, I've been putting money into Bitcoin, and we'll see. We'll see. I've done enough research to where I feel like, I might as well jump in. I know I'm a little late on the bus here, but I have definitely been taking my fair crack at Bitcoin and throwing a little bit of money there and watching it fluctuate and whatnot. So yeah, I've been doing that, and we'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? Trying to expand my portfolio, as they say. Uh, what else? Um, dating, dating. What can I say about dating? There hasn't been much of dating, especially with COVID. Um, and honestly, I haven't been putting a whole lot of effort into it. I, I don't know. I guess I don't put myself out there. And because I throw myself into work, I throw myself into training with my kids, I throw myself into fatherhood, um, and I don't know. I I just haven't really put myself out there when it comes to wanting to make that move into a relationship or even the thought of just going on dates. Uh, it's not that there's not opportunities there. I've definitely, you know, had conversations with a few people here and there. All of them, for the most part, wonderful people, and I still keep in touch. But it's really a me thing. I just I don't know. I don't know where I'm at with all that yet. Part of me wants to, I guess, give it a shot um, and try, but then the other part of me is like, I'm waiting for. I guess I'm waiting for someone to kind of just blindside me and want to be a part of my life and be a part of what I do with my kids, what I do with my life, um, and doesn't really want to change me. Wants to be with me because they like who I am and uh, who who they see, who they watch, and who they listen to and whatnot. Um, I guess I'm afraid that going into that new uh, part of my life, dating and going and entertaining a relationship, I think part of it is a fear that it'll take away everything that I'm doing. So I guess I'm afraid of that, and I'm hoping that whoever this person will be is someone that is just going to enhance everything that I do already, and just want to be a part of it and doesn't want to change anything about it and just says, "Hey, man, I'm doing something similar and I just want to come along for the ride. Can we ride together?" And I don't know. Um, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm answering that. I'm talking about that because I have had people ask me about that if I'm dating anybody or whatnot, and obviously, if I'm lying, someone's gonna pull my card just by listening to this or seeing it on YouTube. But it's not. Um, as of now, I am still a single father who is just trying to find his way. um, Here. is where all this started with this podcast. And the topic is I got me a new place to live in. I'm moving. Uh, it's very it's very strange to say that. Um, where I'm at, I've been here for quite some time, and I've gone through so much stuff here. Um, so much change and transformation has happened in this current place that I'm at. But I got an opportunity to move and to get my place, and I'm jumping on it because it's an offer that I can't refuse. Um, and it's going to change a lot for me, um, more so than you could probably imagine. It's going to change my life drastically. Uh, my kids are excited um, because they'll be able to spend more time with me, um, stay the night. Um, I'm a little quiet because I'm taking in everything that this is going to entail. But this is a very big move for me, and I'm excited about it. But I'm also, I guess, I'm terrified too. And this has made me look back at my life in the last 4 years and realize that I've made so much progress. I've powered through the most difficult time of my life, um, and I survived it with flying colors. And now this part of me moving and getting into this new place and uh, having it mean so much to me and changing so many different things is I'm a little I'm a little worried that this change is going to be so good that I'm going to lose my edge, that I'm going to forget how much stuff I endured and forget my hunger. And I don't want to forget my hunger because things are getting better. And that's a very, very twisted way to think of things, I know. But if you've been where I'm at and you've kind of gone through something similar in your life, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to struggle. You're tired of struggling, but you almost need it to continue to push yourself to get better and to grow and to become the person that you've always wanted to. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I'm simply saying that sometimes you feel like you need the struggle in order to push you every day to get better. And I'm afraid that because so many things have changed and are changing currently for me, that I'm going to lose that. And I don't want to lose that. Um, I don't want to struggle no more. I don't want the pain. I don't want the anger. I don't want the tears. But I'd be lying if I said I don't want a little bit of the struggle because I feel like I need it. I know it's a little weird. Um, I've gotten to a point now in my life where a lot of people are starting to call me for advice to help them. And that's very strange to me because I was always the guy who, I don't know, not always. I guess over the last 4 years, I was, somebody who needed help, somebody who I needed someone to give me advice because I was struggling with my life and the changes I was going through. My divorce and realizing that I was now going to be a single father and what that entails, and just being thrown into a life that I didn't think was going to be that would happen because I thought I was going to be married forever. So I went from being the guy who would call friends and family for advice when I was struggling to now being the person that a lot of people call for advice to help give tips and ideas and words of confidence to. And it's I enjoy that because I can help now, but I also it's weird for me because I still feel like, man, I still got things I got to work on. But what I realize is we're always going to have things that we're working on. We're a work in progress all the time. We're always going to be changing and trying to get better, or at least you should be. Um, so realizing that you got to understand that people calling and asking for your advice on certain things, even when you feel like you're broken and you still haven't got it all figured out, you're never going to get it all figured out. If you feel like you've got it all figured out, then you've just quit because things are always changing. We have to change and adapt. Um, Another thing is I've grown to love the fact that I can admit my faults and I can accept them for part of my growth. And what I mean by that is I've gotten to the point where there is nothing that I can't hit head on. What I mean by, like, let's say, for instance, I told someone recently who is a very close friend to me that loves me to death. I told somebody recently that I know where I failed in my marriage. I know that I didn't do this. I know that I didn't water my own grass, and I should have. A lot of people say, "Hey, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, or the grass isn't always greener." Blah 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 blah. And the reason why that is because we forget to water our own grass. It's not that the grass is greener on the other side. It's just we started paying attention and watering that grass and that lawn over there instead of watering the grass that we have in our front yard. And that that is something that I admitted to this person, and I also admitted a few other things. And this person said, "Hey, man, I don't want to hear that from you because you didn't do anything to deserve going through this divorce." And I said, "Hey, I appreciate that, but as I've gotten more and more clear with my path, I'm able to look back and see where I failed. I don't need somebody to tell me that. I don't need somebody to say, um, to point things out. Now I see it. And it's a lot of things that people never pointed out because they just didn't know. I know. Not just that, but everything in my life. I've thought of past relationships. I've thought of past friendships um, with not just friends, with family, um, on down to my childhood, where I just feel like things would have been different, you know, had these certain things not happened in my life. But I still take ownership of them. I still take ownership of the struggles that I went through and the things that maybe I didn't need to go through and were self inflicted. I've just gotten better at accepting all of these things, all of my faults, all my mishaps, um, and just said, it's part of my life, it's part of my journey, and part of my growth. I've gotten better at that. Uh, I'm excited about this new year. I'm excited about the changes. Um, but like I said, I'm terrified as well. I'm terrified of losing my hunger that pushed me to change, that pushed me to become the person I am now. I'm terrified of losing that hunger. Uh, so it's very real for me. Again, struggle conflict. I don't want to struggle. I want to be happy, but part of me doesn't want to let it go because I need it to continue to push my hunger to keep me hungry. Um, that may be weird for some of you guys to hear. Um, I don't know. Is there such thing as fear of success? Fear of a successful transformation? I don't know. I guess I'm asking. Is there such thing as fear of a successful transformation? Because I'm seeing it now. I'm transforming into the man that I always thought I could be, and it's scaring the hell out of me. I got to be honest. I'm terrified. Um, but I'm still moving forward. So I'm just hoping that I'm thankful to God that I'm making the turn, but I'm hoping that I don't lose my edge, whatever that means. You know what I mean? Um, I guess I got to rest assured knowing that there's always challenges that lie ahead. You know, life is always changing, life's an adventure, and we're human, right? We always seem to complicate things at some point. We always do. We always seem to complicate things. And I guess I should rest assured knowing that even though I'm getting through these things that I struggled with over the last 4 years, I need to rest assured knowing that there are going to be more challenges and more things that I'm going to need to power through and struggle through coming up. What those are, I have no idea. So I guess I should look at it that way, maybe, right? Um, for instance, I can't get past the fact that my kids uh, are about to be 12 and 10. Um, just thinking about that is like, wow, uh, high school's coming, man. And I know that's going to bring a whole bunch of new challenges. So I'm embracing everything that I've been going through and changing and growing through. And I'm just hoping that I don't lose the edge. So if you're going through this and you're having struggle conflict, I, I can tell you this. It's not good for us to hang on and to hold on to grudges and to hold on to things that were so toxic for us. It's not good for us to do that. So if there is a way for us to always remember what we went through to get to where we are currently, whether that be a journal, whether that be a podcast, going back and listening back to the podcast and where you were at a year ago, whether that be your Instagram, going back and looking at your photos and seeing where you were a year ago, um, whatever it may be, use something like that to remind yourself. But what I can say is, I'm trying to be okay with not holding on mentally and physically to the things that were so bad for me, and that hurt me and that broke me. Um, because you can't do that. Because if you do that, you're not going to be able to move forward. You're not going to fully be able to accept your past. You're not going to fully be able to love yourself, because you're going to always blame yourself for the things that went wrong in your life, that went wrong in your marriage, that went wrong in your relationships, that went wrong with you and your kids. You're going to always beat yourself up about it. So, although I understand holding on to the struggle and not wanting to let it go because you want to always remain hungry and pushing forward, um, it can also be very, very bad for you and toxic and be a block to your blessings. Uh, so, I'm sharing this very candid with you because that is where I'm at right now. And I'm having to tell myself that it's okay to get better. All right. It's okay to turn that corner to the better life, the life that you knew that you deserved. Um, and if you need to remind yourself why you got to where you're at, just go back, listen to your podcast, go back, look at your Instagram feed, go look at the journal you've been writing, uh, go back and do these things. In fact, now that I'm saying this, call a friend that went through these things with you and coached you through them, and just talk to them and remember. And so that's where I'm at right now, and I'm trying to make sure that I do that, because I definitely don't want to lose my hunger. I want to remain the beast that I've become, and God willing, I will do that. Um, so again, this was episode 25, uh, struggle conflict. I hope you enjoyed it. We're just under an hour now. I want to tell you guys I love you. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at It's Ray Molina, at The Perfect Mess Pod. You can donate through Cash App, uh, $ It's Ray Molina, and we're on Facebook, YouTube. Please subscribe, share. I love you guys, and I really appreciate everything that you guys continue to do. Sending me DMs, sending me messages on Facebook, uh, showing me the things that your friends are saying about the podcast because it hit home for them. All of these things mean the world to me. I really appreciate you. Uh, this is not a show. This is my life. The Perfect Mess podcast is legitimately it's legitimately about my life, um, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the ride. It's a roller coaster, but I one that I'm learning to enjoy. All right. So again, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Hey, strap in. 2021. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay. Again, I'm on Instagram at It's Ray Molina, and the Perfect Mess podcast is at The Perfect Mess Pod. I love you. I love you. I love you. God bless. Take care of your guys' self. And remember, go to raymolina.com if you like any of the merch you see here on YouTube. The flag behind me, the snapback. I've got shirts. I've got hoodie. I got all kinds of stuff. All right. Raymolina.com. That's it. I love you. Episode 25. Have a very, very blessed day. Peace.
Perfect mess is my perfect mess. Perfect mess is my perfect mess.